Hey, Elgin Knight here, back with another Baldur's Gate 3 video. In this video, I'm going to be going over the different races that have been confirmed for early access, what races that I'm thinking of considering for my main character, and why I'm not considering others. This won't be a detailed video about what the races can do and their abilities, because there's already YouTube videos about that, and hopefully I'll link some in the description below. This is just going to be my thoughts on the different races and how I feel they might play with some of the characters that Baldur's Gate 3 is going to have you group with, and maybe lower some of the time I'll be staring at the character creation screen on September 30th when early access comes out. So without waiting any longer, let's get into the Baldur's Gate 3 races. Okay, the races we know are going to be available in Baldur's Gate 3 during early access are halflings, half-drow, tiefling, drow, half-elves, elves, Githyanki, human, and the dwarves. But we also have 5 companions to choose from to make up the rest of our party, and if you might want to think about what races they are before you choose your race. So let's go over them really quickly just so we can see what we have available. So first up we have Asterion. Now Asterion is a high elven vampire spawn, which we know means that he serves a vampire master, and he's been able somehow to find himself be able to walk around during the day. Now I've looked and I haven't found anything that confirms that vampire spawn will be something that you'll be able to select when making your own custom character, which puts him very high on my list for characters that are probably going to make my party during early access. Then we come to Gale. Gale is a human wizard that, through his lust and ambition of becoming the greatest wizard ever, somehow ends up with a time bomb in his chest. Yeah, this guy does not sound like the sharpest stick in the stack to me, and unless there's something really more dynamic about his character, is pretty low on my bring along list for early access. And then we have a half-elf named Shadowheart. She's a cleric of the Trickery Domain who worships an evil goddess that's been sent on a suicide mission to steal a magical item of great power. This chick sounds like a perfect match for Gale, but I don't know if I feel like she'll be coming along my party for early access. And then we have Will, spelt with a Y for some reason. He's a human warlock, the second human of the companions, and this bonehead went and made a deal with the devil and is now trying to renege on the deal. So he's also just breeds trustworthiness to me. Not super high on my pick list as well, but there we have him. And then we have Lizelle. Lizelle you've probably seen if you've watched any of the promotional videos put out by Larian Studios. She's a Githyanki fighter. I think she looks really cool. I've liked all the stuff I've seen of her so far. I like the sound of her voice. So I'm probably including her in my party 100%. So now that we've reviewed the companions and what races they are, let's think about that for a second. So we have a half-elf, elf, Githyanki, and 2 humans. And I really don't want to play a main character that's a race that already is part of one of the companions. So that drops out those 4 choices. Next, if I'm going to play a drow or a half-drow, I feel like I would only play the drow, so that drops that out of my list. And because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to respect my companions, the halfling, if I would play, would be a rogue, and because the vampire spawn's already a rogue, that takes the halflings out of the list for me as well, leaving me my strong choices being tiefling, drow, and dwarf. Now, between those, what races and classes would I be? Well, obviously, drow ranger, huge choice, would be number. Also, tiefling caster sounds very interesting to me, and never forget the overall iconic dwarf cleric. So those would be my 3 choices, possibly going into the early access. And there you have it, the races that are available in Baldur's Gate 3 during early access, as well as my thoughts about how that relates to the companions. So you know a little bit more about the main characters that I'm considering, and I'd love to hear about the main characters you're considering about creating, so feel free to let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed the video, you can hit that like or subscribe button, that always means a lot too. Stick around hopefully for my next video, which is going to be about relationships in Baldur's Gate 3 and reacting to Larry's video about that.
Do I make you Randy? Yeah.
I hope you all enjoyed. Till then.